All right, Jeff, you ready?
Let's do this.
You
I'm
ready?
I got to tell you, Brent, I'm so organized this week.
Are you?
I am. I've got my notes like everything. I guess so when you go
Is
to
that
our,
wait, is that because so little has actually been happening in Babylon 5? Like you've just had all this extra time to do stuff?
yeah, like so it's funny because it's true. Like literally I'm just like typing and then there's nothing happening. So I'm like, well, what if I do it this way? What if I could move this over? Oh, 10 minutes have passed by and this other thing just happened. I guess I'll take that other note. But these things are
Oh,
great. If you go to our Patreon, you can look at our notes, and these are a masterpiece.
mine are stream of thought as I go through the episode. Like that's
Those are
and I'm
most of
not
mine.
cleaning them up any more than what they are right now.
And I'll give you a spoiler alert on this. One of my most favoriteest thing in this whole episode that I have, and I even have it like bolded on my notes,
Mm-hmm.
is we know what the little bar things mean now. Like we know
I
we know their division colors.
I legit just thought it was a part of the logo and it was underlining the logo.
Yeah,
That's all I
same.
thought it was.
I was like, this is so cool. I understand kind of one part of the uniform now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a thing, man. It is a thing, and stuff happens. And so what you guys are out there about to watch this train wreck, it feels. Jeff, you're a wrestling dude, right?
I am.
Okay, have we taken a heel turn in Babylon 5? I don't mean the show, I mean you and me. Have we taken a heel turn in Babylon 5?
We've taken the best heel turn possible because the only people that think we're heels is everybody that's watching or listening. We're completely justified. We're actually right. I'm sorry. This is what episode, I can't even count at this
14,
point.
15, 16, somewhere around there, yeah.
Season 2 is objectively not good at
No.
this point.
Season 1 has been better than season 2. Season 2 has had some stellar episodes.
Totally. Our
About
top
five of
five,
them.
our top five is great. Awesome.
Well, I don't know. I'd say our top 4. All right,
Really?
because number 5 right now on our top 5 is Soulmates.
That's a great episode.
No, Soulmates was a good episode. It was a funny episode. It was
fun.
not a great episode.
That's fair.
It was funny. That's the only reason why it's staying up there. But I mean, and number 6 is Points of Departure, which was awesome because we got a bunch of stuff. You know what we got? You know what was really cool out of Points of Departure? We got answers.
Yeah.
That's where we learned about the Earth, or the Minbari soul thing.
Mhm.
And okay, we got Sheridan. That Sheridan is awesome. His first episode.
Yeah,
And
because he
his
like, was
second
yelling at
episode
people.
was-
He was yelling at people in that first one.
Yeah,
you know what,
right?
though? I was just thinking, we're on the way back trail here.
Yeah.
Do you remember our season 1 wrap up when we talked about who our favorite characters were
No.
for this? And you were like, hey, there's my favorite character I liked, and then there's the one I'd like to be. You know who I want to be is Londo.
Right.
How's that?
I
taste
do
now?
remember that. I do remember that.
How's that choice tasting?
I literally had this conversation with my daughter tonight because my daughter, my 7-year-old, is in a play.
Mm.
She's in her first play. Now she's playing an extra.
Still great.
I know. She is loving it. She doesn't understand why she doesn't have more lines, but she doesn't care. Or she does, but she doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
She's loving it. She loves exactly where she is. Anyway, and we were talking about like what character she would want to play if she was a little bit older and she could and
Yeah.
whatever. And we were listening to the soundtrack. She's doing Matilda.
Oh God, I love that play.
Yeah, and I said I've never seen it. Actually, I'm really
Really?
excited to watch it. I've only seen it. Well, we're not allowed to go into rehearsals. I've only heard the soundtrack with her. a lot.
Okay.
Anyway,
You get Miss.
I said-
Was it Miss Trunchbull? Is that her
Trunchbull,
name?
yeah,
Yeah.
Miss
So one of my
Trunchbull, yeah.
really good friends, Bentley Michaels, he's got a
Uh-huh.
great podcast. I think it's still out. It's called A Speed Movie Minute. He does those movie minute
okay.
podcasts where they do a full episode on each minute of the movie.
Oh,
I did a couple episodes of A Christmas Story with him back in 21, and then Wayne's World, and he's doing Speed right now. But Bentley's great. But he did Miss Trunchbull at a Matilda production here in Oregon. Is so much fun.
I told her. I said, Evie, I Do you know what Daddy liked to play when he did plays? Because I used to do a lot of theater too. And she goes, "Why?" It's like, I always like playing the bad guy. I want to be the bad. She goes, "Why?" I said, "Because it's so much fun." And we were listening to a part with Miss Trunchbull, and I was like, and I don't know if you've heard the Broadway soundtrack for Matilda.
Oh yeah,
I'm pretty sure that Trunchbull is played by a guy.
Oh yeah, 100%. It's like Mother Ginger in the Nutcracker. It's meant to be.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
That's good to know. I didn't know that.
I've been Mother Ginger a couple times, by the way, in local Nutcracker productions.
Oh, you did?
There you go. Yeah.
I played Rapunzel once.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Sounds very attractive.
You should have seen me in Walmart looking for pantyhose. Needing help because I didn't know what I was looking for.
Right.
I thought it was hilarious when my size was queen.
Like, perfect.
Awesome.
Perfect.
Anyway, hey, you guys are, how many minutes? You're 6 minutes into the show.
We are.
You haven't started talking about the show yet. Okay. All right. You know where that comes from? Back before we did video podcasts and they were just audio, we used to do that like whenever we get off on rabbit trails. And it was a character we called Uncle Stan. It's like, Uncle Stan, get back. You got to get back to talking about what you're supposed to be talking about, not all this other foolishness. Uncle Stan, leave. We got it. It's okay.
Did you ever watch Gravity Falls? They had Grunkle Stan in Gravity Falls.
Yeah.
That's a great show. Love that show.
It really is. Gravity Falls,
Oregon. It actually takes place right here.
You go.
It's not real, by the way.
Star Trek Prodigy, Tales of Arcadia, and Bluey. Some of the best animation on TV. Your daughter's a little old for Bluey.
Yeah, we missed the Bluey.
You might have missed it.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, Bluey will make you want to be a better dad. Well, Bluey's dad will make you want to be a better dad. Like it is parenting 101. He's awesome. Anyway, let's actually get to talking about Babylon 5. Folks, you guys out there, what you guys are about to see is Jeff and I discussing today's episode. There lies all the honor. Therein lies the honor. I don't know.
There all the honor. There it is. There's the honor.
Yeah. You might have an understanding of how we feel about this episode. Anyway, you guys are about to watch that. We're recording the podcast. You guys are going to see the unedited, raw version. This is how we make the show. This is how we do it. This is how we do it. And so this is uncut. You guys get all the outtakes. You get the bloopers. You get the rabbit trails that Jeff over there is going to cut out of the podcast version later. And you guys get to laugh at us along with us. And don't forget to comment down below.
What was last week? Was that Hunter Prey was the last one?
Yes.
So I edited the audio after we recorded that, and both of us at different points literally said the same thing back to back, like repeated ourselves. So at different points, it was like, so I think that this thing and this thing and this thing, because I think this thing and this thing. And I'm just like, delete. What were we thinking?
I don't know. Sorry to YouTube folks. We don't delete this. But you guys are awesome. Make sure you like, subscribe, do all that stuff. Jeff, I am ready whenever you are, my friend.
Let's do it.
It's my first time.
You're new here, aren't you?
First time.
Welcome to Babylon 5 for the first time, not a Star Trek podcast. My name is Jeff Akin, and I'm watching Babylon 5 for the first time.
Jeff, buddy.
Brent.
Listen, I understand how you feel about this episode. I do too, but I'm going to need you to go back and give us a little more oomph. I need the energy,
dude,
because I can't carry this one by myself, buddy. Like you need to go, man. That's not your normal opening. Go back and do it.
So
I'm not gonna give that one to you.
All right, people listening aren't seeing this. I'm literally I'm still drinking my coffee. Not because it's early in the morning, but well, we'll get to that as we walk through the episode. So here we go. I can do it. I'm a professional.
I believe in you. You got this one.
Welcome to Babylon 5 for the first time, not a Star Trek podcast. My name is Jeff Akin, and I'm watching Babylon 5 for the first time. Wow.
And I'm Brent Allen, and I'm also watching Babylon 5.
Seriously?
No. And I'm Brent Allen, and I'm also watching Babylon 5 for the first time. Jeff and I are two veteran Star Trek podcasters watching Babylon 5 for the first time, where we're searching for Star Trek-like messages. We're applying that lens that we've gained as Star Trek podcasters, and we're applying that to Babylon 5 and trying to decide how much we like this series.
I'm glad you said series and not season.
Yeah.
Because this is not a Star Trek podcast, Brent. We are Star Trek podcasters, so we're going to bring those references in. We play, to help us out with that, we play the rule of 3. And what that means is there are 3 references per person that can be made per episode.
That's it. 3. Uno, dos, tres. No substitutions, exchanges, or refund.
That is all, and that begins now. Brent, I've got some reviews to share.
All right.
And first
we've
we've got
something to fill up this episode.
First, I've got one from Apple Podcasts, and Brent, this is a 1-star review.
We're gonna read them all though, Jeff.
Exactly.
We read them all.
And I don't have a drop for this one, but this one causes me a little bit of cognitive dissonance. You'll understand. So 1 star.
Okay.
I'm a big beef. Oh, and this is from Vorlon1.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm a big B5 fan and love hearing the predictions and discovery. That's the 1-star review.
Do the Vorlon have a different rating system where 5 is really bad and 1 is like the best?
Maybe.
That's weird.
Yeah, but you know what? We read them all.
Hey Vorlon, if that's your actual rating and that's the way you want to leave that,
Cool.
no, not cool, but okay. If you actually meant for that to be better than 1 star, I think you can go back and amend it and change it. And I would ask you to do that because it affects other things. But if that's legit the way you want to put your rating in there, more power to you, brother. But thank you for taking the time to come in. I'm going to assume the best about Vorlon here, Jeff. I'm just going to assume the best, and maybe he or she clicked the wrong star.
Yeah.
And say thank you. Thank you for joining in. Thank you for coming in with the predictions. We know that I am the prediction king on Babylon 5 for the first time. Jeff is the court jester over there. And thank you. I appreciate it.
But to balance that, Brent, we do have a 5-star review.
Oh, yes.
Also on Apple Podcasts, this one from The Real Vion. Babylon 5 is my favorite sci-fi show of all time. Over the years, I've seen it many times, experiencing the joy of watching a story well told and grinning at all the clues and foreshadowing that JMS laid along the way. But there is another way to experience Babylon 5, watching it for the first time, not knowing what would happen, being surprised at the twists and turns, and ultimately being satisfied by a show that balanced character and plot in a way that no other show has done since. Brent and Jeff are watching Babylon 5 for the first time, and as a veteran fan, going on this journey with them brings back all the fun memories from my first time watching the show. I'm looking forward to seeing what they think about the show and how that changes as the seasons go by. If you're a longtime fan or a brand new fan looking for something to share the experience with, check out Babylon 5 for the first time.
Thank you, whoever your name is. Thank you.
The Real Vion or Vayon.
Real Vayon. Thank you, Real Vayon. That is awesome. And that's exactly what we want to have happen here. Is you guys watch this for the first time. Jeff, I really have a feeling that people are looking back on season 2, understanding how all of this applies in the grander scheme of things.
Yeah.
Like, this is where it's all so good. And you and I don't understand it. And we're like, yeah, okay.
When I was a kid, my dad, he was a landscaper. That was his job. He was excellent at it. And I remember he planted, he laid a new lawn, like sodded out a new lawn and planted a whole bunch of flowers. And it just looked like dirt. And he got done and he looked at it. And I was with him because as a kid, my job was to carry the tarp with all the yard debris that he created. and throw it in the back of the truck. But he looked at it. He's like, yeah, this is good. And I'm like, it's dirt, Dad. Like, this looks dumb. He's like, we'll come back next season and look at it, and that'll change your mind. And it did. It was gorgeous. Like, he had this really cool flower pattern and colors and stuff that we put together. It was awesome. But at the time, it was just a big old thing of dirt. Brent, I think we're looking at a big old thing of dirt.
Someone's got to give. I mean, here's the thing: is even in the middle of these episodes that overall are like, there's some fun parts to them.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
Or there's some good like little nuggets, but you're like, I watched 45 minutes for what effectively I needed 3 minutes of screen time to do.
Mm-hmm. Well, I've got one more bit of good news. Through our website, Babylon5first.com, it's the number 5, the word first.com, we got a message from Ralph in Germany.
What's up, Ralph in Germany?
We've got a couple messages from people in Germany.
Guten Tag.
Yeah, super happy. It is, yeah. Right. Or Guten Morgen, depending on where you are. I was in Switzerland a couple months ago, and Switzerland, a lot of it is German, and I got really good at saying, oh, Dankeschön, Dankeschön. That's my German. But Ralph sent a pretty long email, and I'm going to share a little piece of it here that really was great, I thought.
Okay.
He says, I found your podcast a week ago, and during that week, I managed to catch up to the latest part. So, God bless you, Ralph. That's a lot of Jeff and Brent you listen to. So here's my summary. How incredibly awesome your work is. I'm so glad that I found your podcast. What you're talking about, and especially the way how you do it. It's nice to listen to your analysis of the plots. No, wait. Let me put it in other words. Two guys looking deeply through the glasses of their life experience, mixed with their sci-fi vitae, I don't know that word, at the different characters and how they interact with each other in Babylon 5 is, from my point of view, the sense and purpose of premium audio content. Also, you manage to contextualize so many details with current political and human topics and events. And last but not least, you gave me the opportunity, I thought this was really cool, you gave me the opportunity to improve my English. And of course, I gave you a 5-star review on Spotify.
Oh, yes.
Thanks, Ralph. Dankeschön. Dankeschön.
Thank you, Ralph. Absolutely. Dankeschön? No.
Dankeschön? Dankeschön.
I don't know.
That's what I said it in Switzerland.
Newton said Dankeschön. I don't actually know. I don't know how the way raised. Thank you, Ralph. You're awesome. Great for you. Good on you for allowing Jeff and I to help you with your English. Yeah. And I hope that my Kentucky accent doesn't come through that often. Although there are some words that it does come through for sure. But that's super, super cool. I like it. This is what premium audio content is about.
Feels good. That was great.
I like it.
Oh my God. What is the deal with that? Like, why do they keep...
I don't know if this is going to make it into the audio, Jeff, or if you're going to cut it out. But if you're out there listening, what I just played the Babylon 5 commercial bumper that they left in the HBO Max.
Literally at a high point of the episode.
Anyway, Jeff, along with our game Rule of 3, there is another game that we like to play at the end of each episode where we try to guess what next week's episode is going to be based on title alone, not having seen thumbnails, not reading description, certainly not watching it first. This is the time where it's time to pay up. It's time to see if we got it right. It's time to see if we got it wrong. It's time to see where we are. So, Jeff, do you remember what you said this episode was going to be about last week? How close were you to the truth?
I do remember. I just want to point out we're a couple minutes into the audio portion of this podcast, and we are completely off the rails already. Like, this is... Whew. So,
What are you drinking over there, Jeff?
I was drinking coffee. It was just some coffee. So I remember that I thought that this was going to be a Kefir-oriented episode, heading out to chase after something that happened out on the rim, and he was going to leave it all on the line. And I'm going to give myself 0.01 points because Kefir was actually in this episode, which in the second season is kind of a rarity, given that he's, in the opening credits. So
He's actually in the show more in the second season than he was in the first, though.
that's true. That is an objectively true statement.
All right. Well, Jeff, do you remember what I said this episode was going to be about last week?
I actually do.
What did I say? Because I don't remember.
So I have the transcript. I have the transcript here. Little note for everyone. If you go to our website, babylon5first.com, the number 5 and the word first.com, I post a pretty cruddy transcript on there that our little AI thing does and pulls it out. It doesn't really know all the Babylon 5 names, but it's something. So you thought that, let's see.
Here, I'll give you a second to find it.
You should just keep hitting that. That'd be
It's
great.
my new favorite thing.
I had it all set up and then I moved it to my other monitor and it screwed everything up. Here we go. Okay. There's going to be an A, B, and C plot featuring Delenn, Garibaldi, and Londo. And we've been predicting this for a while. You've been predicting that it's going to happen soon, right? This is the beginning of the redemption of Londo, but you're going to have kind of the 3 separate stories where Londo's dealing with his honor stuff, Delenn with, losing her spot on the Grey Council, and Garibaldi will be the comic relief of the episode.
So, I think I nailed a third of it. Because that's Londo. Now, I don't know if this is the beginning of his redemption, but it's definitely Londo dealing with his stuff.
Mm-hmm.
At least being pretty cool in this episode. Like he's come up quite a bit, but he's being, in his own Londo way, pretty cool. Delenn was definitely in there, although it wasn't her dealing with anything really having to do with herself.
A little bit.
A little bit, actually, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So let's get half credit for that. So let's hear, what's half of a third? A sixth?
Sure.
And a sixth plus a third is 4/9.
Okay.
That's right. I got 4/9 correct on this. And Garibaldi did not have a plot at all.
No, he did not. Well, for those of you that have no idea if we're right or wrong or how we're scoring ourselves in any way, if you haven't watched this in 30 years, or if you're just listening to the podcast and not watching the show at all, Brent, can you walk us through what There All the Honor Lies was about?
Well, it's a command briefing morning, which means that it's time for Sheridan to shove off more stuff that he doesn't really want to deal with to Ivanova, because that's what he does now, and it's kind of become his MO. This time, it's the Babylon 5 Emporium, folks. It's your one-stop shop for all your Babylon 5 It's your one-stop shop for all your Babylon 5 memorabilia. Merchandising. It's where the real money from the show is made. Babylon 5, the t-shirt. Babylon 5, the coloring book. Babylon 5, the lunchbox. Babylon 5, the breakfast cereal. Babylon 5, the flamethrower. The kids love that one. And last but not least, Babylon 5, the doll, featuring Babylon 5, John Sheridan. Unfortunately for Babylon, he's going to get spaced at the end of this episode. All right, enough of that. The action, and I use that word loosely, gets started when Sheridan is walking down a dark, deserted hallway all by himself, because you know that the captain of a really important, super large place is always by himself in dark, deserted hallways. When he suddenly gets bumped into by a shady looking dude who totally didn't just pickpocket him. Oh, wait. Yeah, he did. This guy took Sheridan's link right off of his hand. Sheridan chases the man down, but he bumps into Lavelle, a Mimbari from a very prominent family. Lavelle starts to rough up Sheridan quite a bit, and Sheridan manages to find a PPG that just happens to be sitting on the floor right next to where Sheridan is thrown to by Lavelle. Sheridan turns over with the PPG in his hand, tells Lavelle to stop advancing on him, but Lavelle doesn't listen. He continues, and Sheridan shoots him dead. Whew. Glad that's over. Oh, hey, wait, you, Ashan, the other Minbari who just happens to be standing here and seeing what happened. This is not what it looks like. Honest. Well, as you can imagine, the Minbari government is pretty up in arms over this, and they want the Star Killer charged. Or at least the leaders of the third Fane of Chumodo do, which also happens to be Ashan's clan, which also happens to be Lanier's clan, so they can at least talk to each other. There's a lot of filler throughout the rest of the episode about them trying to find out who and what and why, but ultimately, it's just a revenge plot because they're still mad at Sheridan over what happened during the war. That's it. That's all. Few other tidbits. Sean is throwing some serious shade at Delenn, saying she's not a real Minbari anymore, and he refuses to even talk to her, saying her mere presence is an insult to him. Kosh is super eager to continue his lessons with Sheridan and takes Sheridan to what I can only describe as a Vorlon hotbox, where there's this really rad Gregorian chant going on, and turns out Kosh really was just wanting to hear the music the whole time. And Londo does right by Veer, not letting them replace Veer with some other one now that Londo's got a little bit more status. Jeff, that's all I got on the recap because that's all it was. So, what do you think of this episode? There, all the lies honor. All the honor lies. There it is.
It sure does.
For those wondering, like, oh, he's messing it up on purpose. No, I'm not. This is just an awkwardly phrased title that go ahead, Jeff.
Well, so I liked parts of this one. Like there were some things in it. There's some things I really liked, but this episode, Brent, was a mess. It was a mess. It was all over the place. And the Sheridan setup whole line was okay, but the way they cut it together felt choppy and not smooth. Sheridan's like, I didn't buy his attitude. It was like he'd never been accused of doing something wrong before. You're a captain in Earth Force. Like this is a thing you should know. But the Kosh and Sheridan stuff, oh man,
it was great. That was the best part of the whole episode, frankly.
Totally.
And it was the only part I really cared about.
Everything else was just, well, and I talk about this later on too, but this was just like reminding us of stuff that happened earlier in the season.
You remember what I said in my recap, that this was going to be like a bunch of B plots all strung together? That actually, I think, is what this episode felt like. It was just, there is no A plot. It's just, here's this little thing that doesn't have enough to stand on its own, and here's this little thing that doesn't have enough to stand on its own. Here's this little thing that doesn't have enough to stand on its own.
And let's throw it all in one episode, and then it's going to be okay.
Yeah. But it's going to set up all this other stuff in the future. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Right. I remember this. The Veer and Londo stuff, I thought had so much potential to be cool, but I think they like left out a whole scene or something. Like there were just things that didn't make sense. And seriously, what was the point of the store?
Here's what I totally think. I felt the same way about the Londo and Veer stuff. I felt like there was a lot more to that story that might have gotten cut out. I 100% believe, and people are out there commenting right now, this is what it was all about. This, I don't know. I haven't read any books, but I 100% believe this is the studio coming to JMS. Actually, not even coming to JMS because they don't have to. They own the rights, right? The studio owns the show, not JMS. And they're like, hey, we've made up a bunch of toys because it's where the real money from the show is made. And JMS, I think, blew a gasket. He's like, this is not what I did with this show. And they told him, we want you to put the merchandise in the show. I think this was a studio interference. They made him write a way to have this in here. And this whole opening sequence with Sheridan and Ivanova feels like it is completely lifted out of the conversation that JMS would have had with a studio exec.
Wow. Okay.
Right down to the complete shot across the nose.
I mean, we're not some deep space franchise. This station is about something.
Yeah, I mean, that is a shot. I mean, dude, that was not across the nose. That was up the nose.
Yeah, that wasn't the Shadows and Londo in Chrysalis. where they took out that was in Coming of Shadows, where they took out, like, that is war declaration right there. Yeah.
Absolutely. They called him out by name effectively.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And we all know, Star Trek, the toys and everything like that, like that's a big part of it. And I think this is the studio saying you have to put this in somehow, and JMS put it in, but in order to make it fit, maybe that's where we lost some of the Londo and Veer stuff.
Yep. It was just kind of like, hey, we're going to put pieces of this in, these half-cocked B plots, and I got room to slip this in here.
And everything from spacing the bear at the end to Ivanova's like disdain to Londo, like with the really weird cut shots that they kept putting in of him holding the doll up.
Mm-hmm.
Like all of that was just, I think that's JMS sticking a middle finger up to the studio for turning his beloved show into a toy merchandising thing.
Okay. I can.
That's my guess.
I can buy that. Well, I will tell you my last thought here before I hand it over to you for your reactions. But one of my favorite parts of the whole episode, and this didn't happen until my second watch through, but one of my favorite parts was the attorney lady that came in for Sheridan. What were your first reactions to this?
To her,
Just or the whole episode, really.
Oh, the whole episode. I mean, much the same thing as yours. Like, there were individual parts of it I liked, but overall, I was very underwhelmed. Very, very underwhelmed. I don't think this isn't a bad episode. It's just not a good episode. Is that like can it live in the middle somewhere like that? Like, totally. I generally really like these whodunit procedural courtroom, although there wasn't really a courtroom here, but let's go find out what happened. I generally like those kind of stories. This one was like, I was more interested in what was going on with the Sean throwing shade at Delenn.
Mm-hmm.
Than I was in what else was going on. I was more interested in the whole Kosh and the music and all of that, certainly, than I was in, are they going to get Sheridan out of this? And the lawyer coming in, I mean, I don't know. You said she's one of your favorite parts. I have no feelings on her whatsoever. Tell me about it.
I despised her on my first walkthrough because I just thought to myself, look, another total like archetype coming from Earth Force, look how, but then I saw who played her. Actor is Caitlin Brown. Do you know who else Caitlin Brown has played on Babylon 5?
No.
The Natoth. She was season 1 Natoth. And as soon as I knew that, and I just pictured everything that she did coming from Natoth, I'm like, God, I love you. I miss you. You are... The fact that she is not Natoth, to me, encompasses and encapsulates everything that's wrong with the second season of Babylon 5. Like, she was just that raw awesomeness that every time she was on screen in the first season, we're just like, yes,
so she was the one that beat down Deathwalker.
Yes.
That was her.
Yep. So she comes back for a spot.
It's too bad she couldn't handle the makeup. Man.
I know. Because, she was so good. And once I knew that that's who she was, I just pictured her as Natoth, and it was so much fun to watch her be the attorney. And I'm just like, that to me really wraps up season 2 of Babylon 5 for me. Like, I don't know. Yeah. I did happen to look that up. I wanted to know why she left, why they recast the character. Was it the makeup?
It was the makeup. Yeah. That was one of those, like, there might be a spoiler, there might not be, but curiosity just got the best of me. And I really wanted to know, like, why would they recast Natoth? Because she was the perfect character.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, you know that spinoff that we keep talking about with the assistants?
Yeah, the sidekicks.
Yeah, I don't need it anymore without the original Natoth.
Totally. It's worthless.
Like, Vera is fine, but Natoth was the one to really sell that. Like,
I mean, I'm here for a Veer and Lanier and Garibaldi episode, like them going off and doing a thing, but without Natoth, you can't carry a whole series.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Kind of like without Jakar, you can't carry a whole. Where's he been the last bunch of episodes?
You know, so let's talk about the Veer and Londo stuff there, because I think that's part of what was missing in that story too. Is Londo, Veer's great. I really like Veer, and this added some depth to him. But Londo without Jakar just isn't. You know what I mean? It's just not. They are one character together, and Veer wasn't enough to for him to play off of to really shine.
Well, and I mean, Londo's just kind of walking around like he's the big hot dog, and kind of knows that he's not, but he kind of is. And you know, his crest hair looks bigger. It looks blacker.
Yeah,
I don't know if you've noticed that. Like it looks like he dyed it,
and he's got the black, like the military stuff going.
Yeah. You know, and he kind of walks around almost like he's not himself. And I don't think Londo is himself right now.
No, not at all.
And him doing what he did for Veer as a real solid shows that they're still good in Londo. They're still good in you. I believe it. I can sense it, you know? But yeah, you're right. Without Jakar, without that playing off of, and I know those two aren't speaking right now, and rightly so, but without it, Londo, as much as I hate to say it, Londo is just not Londo right now.
And I think it's part of what the point we were supposed to get. You know, I think that's that story that will lead to redemption at some point for him, is just like, this isn't who he is. And Veer, I mean, we talked a couple episodes ago about how Veer is just as complicit in this as Londo is. I mean, he's enabling all this stuff to happen, but he's having a hard time with it too. And I really appreciated how he tried to call Londo out in this episode for it. But he was drunk, you know, playing drunk at the same time. I thought like that whole episode, that moment when he was drunk, you know, he'd only had two drinks. Right. That was great. But when he's just like, hey, you know, my family thinks I'm a joke. Working for you it was a joke. And I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry. That whole awkward, weird, I'm sorry thing was awesome. Like, yeah, I felt that.
But what's his name? Stephen First,
I think. First.
Yeah.
I think First or with a U. Yeah.
Yeah.
Animal House. That's where
he's a really good actor.
Yeah.
In this role. What did you make of Londo's family situation? That was intriguing.
Yeah, Veer's family situation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because like
they sent him here to get rid of him because they didn't want him around. I mean, this man, Jeff, did you ever watch The Lion King?
Oh yeah.
Say yes. Did you ever watch The Lion King 1.5?
Yes,
or sometimes
actually
called The Lion King 3, where we find out that Timon basically is like please get out of our community before you wreck anything else. Or it's A Bug's Life. Wasn't that the same thing with that kid? The same idea. Just please get out. We don't want you around. Please go. That is we'll laugh at you the whole way. And you know, it's that same kind of deal with him.
Yeah. And I got to think, like, it was great how he said it, right? I'm what was it? I'm pushed away and covered in shame over here. And then over here, I'm taken over by secrets, and it's either a flood or a fire. And there's no way for me to get out. He's just trapped. And what I want to think isn't that he's a disappointment in the sense of like, he's a piece of garbage. You know, like, oh, you suck at everything and you're garbage. I think that he was anti-culture. He understood like the Centauri way of life and their culture was flawed and wanted to help evolve it and move it in a direction. And they're like, nope, you go somewhere else. That is not wanted here.
And that rings absolutely true, because if you remember that one episode,
where with the, I don't think it was Signs
with his cousin,
with
or
Winnie
something
Cooper.
like that.
The Winnie Cooper Centauri.
Yeah. And he like helped them get married when they were supposed to be marrying other people who they didn't want to be married to. Yeah. That whole thing rings 100% true.
I found the ending of that though to be very confusing. The whole, you know, when Londo's telling him to enjoy his first hangover, which, oh God, but it was great at the end where the gist was, right, if they're going to get rid of you, I'm going to go with you because you're awesome and you're great. But there was just that whole thing of like, how quickly can you pack because your replacement's here? And like, was he trying to mess with. I couldn't tell what was going on.
Yeah, that one felt like almost like they had like written a couple of different drafts of how they wanted that to go, and they put the wrong one in the script.
Yeah. How come I got the purple sheets today? I thought we were running the blues. It's
Right.
just-
Like
yeah.
that's actually what that, because I had that same thought. I was like, that wasn't a joke. That was, you know what I thought it was for a little bit was his replacement is here. And so he needed to pack because Veer was getting a promotion.
Okay.
And the assistant, there was going to be a new assistant, but Veer was getting a promotion. And so he'd get to go to like better quarters. Like
That would've made
that's
sense.
where I thought that was going. And then it didn't.
I thought it was going to go because at first I was just like, what the heck? I don't understand. He's like, well, no, you got to pack my stuff first.
Right.
Okay. So I thought they were going to leave. I thought Londo was headed back to Centauri Prime and then was going to sit in the court and like try and get away from stuff, maybe get away from stuff or change of scenery. But then
Londo
then
can't
nope.
leave Babylon 5 though, Jeff.
Well, I thought they were going to do the two because they built that whole set, the whole throne room for Centauri Prime. Like they could use that.
I mean, it depends on what they had to put on top of it or where like, because that set seems like it was an existing set that they redressed,
okay.
and they're not going to want to have to redress that set all the time. Like
That would make, yeah.
somebody's
yeah,
quarters that they redressed or something like that.
But that whole scene was just a really weird wrap up to that. But I will say, I hope we actually get to see, like, I hope we get the episode where his family shows up.
For a whole month.
Yeah. Like that'd be fun.
And then they made him want to drink. Okay, so here's the note that I had to wrap up this whole section for me. Londo is definitely on a bad track, and he still has not come to his redemption moment yet.
Nope.
But it is good to see that Londo is still at least Londo. He does still have thoughts and feelings. He does really well by Veer. I was about to say Linear. That's not right. He does well by Veer, and then he turns around and sticks it to him a little bit. Like, oh, I got it for, they're gonna be here for a whole month, and like, like that's Londo. That's the Londo we know and love, minus Jakar.
Yeah. It's good to see him again. Like that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
So if it's cool, like I said, I have super organized notes. And so I've got the Sheridan
You take it,
Minbari
buddy.
stuff. And then I've got the
Yeah.
Sheridan Kosh. I'd like to like wrap on the Sheridan Kosh stuff so we can end on a high note.
Yeah, well, I mean, the Minbari, the whole Sheridan Minbari stuff was plot. It didn't do anything. I get the real stuff is the Minbari side of it specifically.
Yeah, totally. Because I think like these are some of my key takeaways from the Minbari. They don't lie except for when they do.
Mm-hmm.
They prize clan over everything else and prioritize honor. So the Minbari are essentially the melding of Vulcans and Klingons. That's
That
that's
might be
all
the
I
only
got.
reference we get. Actually, I want to take those one by one if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Because those are the interesting pieces. What was your first one you said?
They don't lie until they do.
Yeah. That is actually a really cool trait, because what they said was they're not just lying to cover their own skin or to have their own way. They're lying to protect someone's honor.
Mm-hmm.
And they raised a question here. Well, whose honor are they trying to protect with this whole thing? And I assume it was the leadership of the third Fane of Chudomo who's doing something very dishonorable, and they're trying to protect their honor. But the idea, I always struggle with getting into theology type stuff.
Mm-hmm.
When is a sin not a sin?
Okay.
Let's go there. Right? When
All
is
right.
a sin not a sin? Is lying a sin?
It is.
It is a sin. And in every situation and in every case, it's a sin.
No. So there are degrees. So you're getting into
There
theology.
it is. Yeah.
Yep,
Take me there with it. Yeah.
Yeah. So like as a
Yeah.
Catholic, right, we generally have what we call mortal sins that permanently or until you reconcile, but damage your relationship with God. And then you
Right.
have what we call venial sins that are like, oops. I've had priests literally say, like, because here's the example, right? There's this, do I lie about what I witnessed and someone getting killed and blah, blah, blah. And then there's the time your partner comes into the room with a new outfit on and says, how do I look in this? Right? Those are not the same things, but they're both lies.
Yeah. Yeah. Or I think of, I specifically from the Bible, and this is where my mind goes, the story of Moses, right? The male children, like under 2 or whatever, were all supposed to be put to death, and the ladies took and hid the baby, and they lied, and they were honored because of it, because they were protecting. And there's another story later, and I don't exactly remember where it was, but there were like some spies that were sent on a mission, and in order to prevent them from being caught, somebody hid them like in their attic or something like that. Like this is like, huh?
That was in Exodus. I think not Jericho, but wherever they ended up before Jericho. So that was it. Yeah, but they had to hide.
No, it was Jericho. It was Jericho, and it was Rahab the prostitute.
Yes,
it was Rahab the prostitute. Now that you said that, and she lied, straight up lied to protect the people, and the like what wound up happening was, because of that, she's in the genealogy of Jesus much later on. But also when and this is why I remember it when you said Jericho, when the walls fell, the only part of the wall left standing was the part that her house was on, which I always thought was an interesting little piece of that. But my point being, not all sins are always sins.
Yep.
Right. And for the Minbari who say we don't lie, we don't lie, to say yes, we lie, but when we're protecting, it's not even a lesser of two evils, it's the greater good.
Exactly. It's better.
My buddy Matt, who was with me over at Beam Me Up, would always say, whenever somebody says for the greater good, that's how you know they're the real villain. So maybe the real villains are the Minbari, Jeff.
Yeah, maybe in all of this. But I mean, Londo, I actually really like this scene where Londo gave it up, where he's like, I would not lie to you, Captain. And he's like, yeah, you don't lie. The Minbari don't lie. Who told you the Minbari don't lie?
What do you mean they don't lie?
but I'm pretty sure what he referenced was the time Lanier lied to protect him when they got arrested in that fight at the strip club or at the gambling place. When Londo was whipping it out to cheat and they got arrested.
Is that what that was? Because I was thinking he was referencing something with the Len that I just couldn't remember what it was.
I'm pretty sure it was Lanier, because he blatantly, he took, and almost similar to what he offered to do for Ashawn.
Yeah.
At the end, it was like, yeah, you go, but then I'll go and say that I did this because it's the honor of our clan that matters, and I'll lie and give myself away.
Right. And so here's the question, because you did compare them to Vulcans, and I'm sitting on your reference earlier,
That's
not
fair.
my own. One of the things I've often said is Vulcans aren't very Vulcan. Vulcans tell you they do stuff and then they do the exact opposite all the time. Is this more Vulcan behavior where they're lying to themselves about not lying, or is it actually a little more honorable?
I think it's more
even
Klingon.
though this is gross what they're doing right now.
Yeah, I think it's more Klingon what they're doing.
Yeah,
in this, and it's just in that phase, because I think that's the thing that always drove me crazy about a Vulcan will not lie. You do all the time, the time.
Yeah.
So it's but just, I mean, and God, just honor. Here I'm going to quote Lower Decks: honor. That's this whole episode was, and yeah, it's the name of the episode, but it was the Minbari spouting it most of the time, and it just was so Klingon what they were doing. But like Klingon, Jeff, not in the beast way.
I know you keep going back to that, but you did bring in a whole new reference with Lower Decks, so you.
Oh, it's fair. That's fair.
Sorry.
It's all right. But the other thing I brought up was, what else did we talk about on them?
What was your second thing you said? You said the Minbari don't lie.
And then they hold clan above self, and then the fact that they prioritize the honor of the clans and the Minbari as a whole.
Yeah, so there was a real interesting spot. And one of who was the one earlier, the review person who said that we somehow managed to tie this into current day politics.
I think it was Ralph. Yeah.
Yeah, Ralph. So here we go with that. There is a thing that we are encountering in our day and age right now, where there is a question of, are people more loyal to their party or to their country?
Yeah.
Are they more loyal to a person? And we all know what person I'm talking about. Or are they loyal to their country? So you're like, well, it's both. No. No, I'm going to call you out. You're loyal to a person. And that's just where you are, guys. Sorry. That it's not your country. It is a person you are loyal to. And this is something that we see here. They are more loyal to their clan than they are to their own society.
Mm-hmm.
They're more loyal to this piece. And in a different look at that, look at the way that Ashan treats Delin versus the way he treats Lanier. And what I found so amazing by Lanier, and actually I want to prop up Ashan just for a second here.
Okay.
They are on two incredibly different paths. They are looking at this whole situation from two very different sides. They do not agree on Delin, on her words, on what happened, on whether or not this is right or wrong. They agree nothing. Lanier is trying to trap Ashan in his own web of lies and get him to confess. At the same time, while all of that's happening, they still hold a lot of respect for each other. They still can sit down and talk. They still will honor each other and give them whatever their weird hand signals are that show honor and respect towards each other. Isn't that the way it should be? That even if you disagree with somebody, even if I'm on a complete opposite side, I can show you honor. I can show you respect. We're going to sit down and we're going to talk and come through this. I don't know that this is a Star Trek message here, Jeff, but this is definitely a message we need to see in our country.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about Germany. I don't know about France or some of these, but from what I hear, what's going on over there, it's not that much different than what we got going on here right now. But this idea that we can come together, not well, if you don't do it my way, I'm gonna take my ball and go home. And I'm looking at everybody who's like that, not just one over the other. You know, the idea we've got to be able to come together and even if we're on opposite sides, show each other respect, have a discussion.
Mm-hmm. But where this fell flat, and I think you said this, but just to state it outright, is he did that with Lanier because they're both part of the third Fane of Chidomo. Mm-hmm. It should be that for all Minbari. Mm-hmm. And then by proc, it should be that for everyone. You know, I mean, it's just they're at the like second lowest level that they can do that at, which is great. They're doing that. It's better than, you know, than we're doing these days. Mm-hmm. But it's just not enough. And that's, I think it ties back to when Naroon got placed on the Grey Council, and she was upset not only because he was warrior caste and that threw off the balance, but I forget the name of his clan, but she was like, he's warrior caste from this clan. Like these people, you know, are awful. So it's almost like really what we have today, but we haven't put a name on it yet. Where yeah, in America we have a 2-party system, but within those parties are these like little sub things. They just have that in a really codified way. Warrior caste, religious caste, worker caste, I guess, and then the clans within those.
We know there's at least 3 worker class people in their whole society. I don't know if there's any more than that, but there are at least 3 of them. One thing I will go on with this that I found as a cool callback. Do you remember back in the episode Voice in the Wilderness? Where we got the drawl, right? The battery guy, right? That was drawl, right? The old Minbari dude.
Yep.
He's coming in. He has a conversation with Delin in that episode, and he says, "I don't recognize Minbar anymore." And I'm sitting here going, "This has to be what it is," because they said like one dude's holding other dude by the neck in
This points of departure, I think.
No, was it? Yes. Points of departure, and he says, the Odo line, "We don't hurt each other."
Yeah, Minbari don't kill Minbari or whatever.
Yeah, Minbari don't kill Minbari. Minbari don't hurt each other. And well, turns out they do. Right?
Yep.
The Minbari Great Council has been the balance has been disrupted. And now there's a majority where there's not supposed to be a majority. And then we've seen these things from Minbari culture and what's going on with Ashan, specifically how he's dealing with Delenn, which I find disgusting, but I feel like I could be watching something in modern day.
Yeah, it's mirrored
right now.
Mirrored exactly right now.
Which is
I don't
crazy,
answer
this
to
was 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like that's just nuts to me. But yeah, that's all I had on the whole Minbari thing.
I thought this is a funny thing. So right before Sheridan shot dude, he yells, "Death first!"
Yeah.
And then Lanier's like, "No, we're pretty sure he said death first," which means I yield to your authority. It's like, no, they're saying or whatever it was in Mr. Burns, D Burns, the Burns, not die Burns.
I know that reference. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Took me a minute to remember, but it's like, but then another awesome scene. We got Zach, we got Kaneki in this episode, and he was full Kaneki mode. So Natoth comes up, attorney Natoth. That's what I'm going to call her. Comes up. He's like, "Hey, excuse me, mister." And he's like, "Oh, hey, Allen, ma'am, Zach Allen." I was like, "God, yeah, you're awesome."
Hey, I just had a thought. Now I need a spinoff that is Natoth the attorney and She-Hulk the attorney.
Oh man,
teaming up. That's what I now need.
That'd be great. So let me see here. Yeah, two other kind of thoughts on the Sheridan side of things.
Yeah. I wanted. Go ahead.
Yeah. So one in this whole Minbar piece. Oh, actually, I have three real quick. One, and I kind of mentioned it in my initial thoughts, but dude's a captain of a huge space station. He fills out reports all day long, and he's arguing with Garibaldi on how all of that just felt like way out of character for the station, that the level that he's at.
I don't know what you're talking about.
So they find out he killed the guy, and Garibaldi's wanted to launch his investigation. And he keeps asking him questions. Well, did it happen like this, or did it happen like, well, it doesn't matter how it happened like this. He said this, and that's what happened. That's not what's important there, Sheridan. We got to defend this. No prosecutor's going to take that. They'll eat you alive. Where'd you get the gun from? Well, it was just standing there. What do you think? Sheridan, just tell him the report. Tell him what happened. That's part of your job as a bureaucrat and an administrator.
Right.
To do that stuff. Felt way out of character to me.
So something that I think was really in character was what Sheridan did at the end.
Yes.
When the whole thing came out. And of all the people and of all the things, Sheridan did the most Minbari thing ever. He came up with the solution that didn't require some public disgrace, but that would just fix it. And no one's ever going to notice what Sheridan just did here. And that's going to be okay because he's just being of service, right? He doesn't need the accolades. It's just, just make it happen. And he helped them save face. That's all he needed. I have another prediction for you, Jeff.
Oh,
I don't think this one's too far off.
Okay.
Sheridan is also part Minbari.
100%. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. I think we might have planted that flag a little while ago, actually.
Right.
Because, no, it was great because everybody kept trying to layer stuff on top of it. What statement should we make? Will Minbar support this? Well, blah. And he's like, I got mugged and I shot the guy. Like, that's what happened,
Right.
Not a big deal. What it reminded me of was in the Wheel of Time books, and I think I mentioned last week I'm reading through, but there's this game political game they play called Deus de Mar, where it's all about political positioning and how can I take this situation and make you look dumb and me look good. And that was the whole, like, that's all everybody was doing except Sheridan, who was like, man, dude mugged me. Let's just say that, like, whatever. But it was such a simple solution. And this will tie to when we start talking about the Kosh stuff with him. But his solution was simple and beautiful. Like, in the face of darkness, he provided a simple and beautiful solution that everyone came out on top with. He put Kosh's lesson right into play. But that was a bad time to put that segue in, because this is my other big question, or my observation. Minbari wants Sheridan gone, right? You're Sheridan Star Killer. We're going to get rid of you. Earth Alliance was going to press charges as well. And Attorney Natoth said, this is going to force you to resign permanently. I think President Clark and crew are looking for an opportunity to get rid of Sheridan. I don't know if they know that he's on to them or there's something going on, but that was a very, like, she's just like, look, I can tell you this. We're going to press charges and you're going to have to resign permanently. They didn't have to do that. They didn't have to say that. So I think he's got a little target on his back.
Yeah, I remember when she gave that explanation, I remember kind of going, okay, I kind of get it. Like, they're just trying to get in front of it, but it is going to mean either way, he's got to be gone. And I was like, well, first of all, he's not going to be gone because we just got him and he's going to run the rest of the show because I don't want to go through another command change.
Right.
Because it's all about me now. But yeah. The idea that Clark is trying to get rid of him isn't surprising to me. I think it's not on my hot list right now. Like, that's very on the back burner until it becomes a thing, but sure. Yeah. And maybe that's going to be a deal. We're going to get into like the heat of everything when we really need Sheridan at level, and then Clark's going to step in and pull him out and be like, not now.
We need him. This is the time. So let's talk about the Sheridan and Kosh stuff. Like, what were your observations on that?
Dude, the idea that Kosh is coming to Sheridan like, no, we're going to keep this. I love that whole scene where it's like, no, well, I just don't have time. And Kosh is like, yeah, you do. You know what it felt like to me? It felt like Dumbledore coming to get Harry for his private lessons. Like, I don't care what you got going on. We're going to do this.
It's time.
This is important. Let's go. That's what it felt like to me. He goes in, I don't know how else to describe it but a hot box. Like, that's really what it was. He goes, there's that whole like thing about where he has to do the bar and all that. And I mean, it just feels like this is just padding and padding and padding. And then the chanting starts. The whole music, and I'm like, holy crap, it actually is music. Interesting.
With great reverb in that hot box. Like,
I mean, that's amazing, right? And you didn't have to fake that one. That's just natural. Although I'm not sure there's enough bounce in that little area. But there's all these people just coming out of the woodwork. I'm like, who are these guys? Are these Vorlon?
Right.
Outside of their suits or just in whatever their cloaks are. And they're doing something. And all of a sudden, just from listening to the music, Sheridan gets high. He's like, whoa, dude, that was pretty cool, man. I never knew. All right. And that's all we got.
I got so much out of this scene.
Let's go.
So much. Okay. So he sends him into the hot box, and what's in there? Beauty. And so I'm just going to read my note because I went through the stream of consciousness on it. Even in the worst and darkest of places, there's beauty. In the darkness, in the shadows, there's beauty. Oh my God, the Vorlon are the beauty in the shadows. So Sheridan, when you're facing darkness and shadows, know there's beauty, and I'm right here.
You know what that reminds me of is in a it kind of goes back to a spiritual thing. When you're in the middle of it, to remember where real beauty is, like to reach into this place, go to your happy place, and there I'll be, or whatever. Like, that's an interesting piece. Like,
and then the scene I loved was that command bar thing. Like he goes through this whole thing. He talks about what the stat bars are and what, I probably got a dozen of these. And then he drops it into the dish. Brent, that was him symbolically giving up his command.
Oh.
Sheridan. So here's the lesson.
Yeah.
This is the lesson. Whatever Kosh is preparing Sheridan for, he's going to have to voluntarily give everything away in order to reach his full potential. And this was the exercise that meant nothing, right? Oh yeah, I'll do this. But there's going to come a time where he will give up his command. He will give up the things that we think are important to him so he can become something bigger. That's what Kosh is teaching him.
That's amazing. I did not think about that. I love that you thought about that. I'm glad you put it on tape because we now have it recorded. Mark it down. I am picking up everything you're laying down. I love it.
Yeah, I loved that scene. I thought it was brilliant. And I think just on my last note on everything is it was fascinating, and I get why, but it was a real, I think, brave decision from an editing and pacing standpoint that was all one unbroken scene.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Like it was one shot?
No, the multiple shots and great, like the beautiful practical effects.
You just mean they didn't edit other stuff into
Correct.
it while they were doing that scene.
It wasn't intercut with something else, which is normally what happens on a big scene. You know, we're going to pop back and forth but they did the whole thing as one solid scene, and it just hit that power. It made it more power. Like it pulled us into that moment. Like when the music started, you're just like, because it was uncomfortable up until the chanting started, you know, like it let us experience kind of what he was feeling.
So what do you think the music's all about? Because that's the like, I went, holy crap, Kosh really is talking about hearing the music and hearing the song. What is this all about?
So I wish I knew, and it's clearly a riff on something Catholic, right? Because that's Gregorian chant. I don't know if it's a real song or not. I don't know if it matters. If it doesn't matter, go ahead and tell me what that song is. If it does matter, don't say anything. But I think it really was that metaphor for shut up, listen to the music, and you'll find real beauty. Just Kosh and the Vorlon are next level good at doing that. That's a lesson he tried to give to Talia, actually, back in the episode. You listen, forget the lyrics, listen to the music. And then he said to Sheridan, "I'm doing." And then he made him listen to music. It's all in the music.
I like it. All right, Jeff. Well, sorry. All right, Jeff. Well, we have reached that part of the show where it's time to boil it all down. And honestly, I think you just did. But we're going to see if this show has any of that Star Trek-y quality to it. Is there a deep moral message? Is there a mirror holding up to society? Yes, I do think there is definitely that. Is it giving us hope that we can be better in the future? No, I don't think it's necessarily doing that. Jeff, I'm going to rate this on a scale of 0 to 5 deltas and talking about how Star Trek this episode is. You're going to do the Star Furies unless I will give you the opportunity. Do you want to switch this week or you want to leave it right where it is?
Let's leave it where it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'll go first with deltas.
Cool.
I'm going to give this one a 1.5 delta rating. And we go up to 5, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. 0 to 5. Yep. I'm going to give this a 1.5. There were some definite Star Trek themes throughout this episode. Might actually could bump it up based on what you just said there, although I think that's more of a Babylon 5 theme than it is a Star Trek theme, but I like it. I like where you're going. I don't know that Star Trek would ever do that. You have to give up whatever it is in order to achieve.
That's
this.
almost more of a Star Wars thing than a Star Trek thing.
Yeah. Cause that's definitely has more of a religious feel to it.
Mm-hmm.
Like you have to shed this in order to do that. So I'm going to give it a 1.5. Mostly because it's more of a smattering of stuff. There's not really a thing, but there are a few things throughout the course of the episode we've already commented on, particularly having to do with Minbari society holding up that mirror to us. 1.5. What do you got for Star Furies?
I feel like that's a good number. I'm going to give it 1.5 Star Furies. This episode was a mess. It was all over the place. And honestly, If they just had the Kosh thing and maybe one of the other B stories that they actually fleshed out and did something, I would have been fine with this episode. But it was just, I couldn't follow it. It was a mess. It was too many pieces thrown together with a couple kind of high notes in there.
I'm really glad that we didn't have like some big long break between our last episode and this episode. You know,
Yeah.
Like I'm ready to get moving on. All right. Well, starting now in season 2, we are ranking every episode as we go. This is the absolute 100% completely accurate definitive ranking of Babylon 5 season 2. Jeff, where are you going to put There All the Honor Lies? Our top 5 right now, just to remind everybody out there, is number 1, The Coming of Shadows. Number 2, A Race Through Dark Places. I don't even remember what that episode was about. Number 3, All Alone in the Night. I don't know that I remember what that one was about. 4, Hunter Prey. That was last week. I don't know that yes, I do remember what that one was about. And then 5, Soulmates. Where are we going to place this one?
Well, you didn't have to go
Does
to
it
the
crack
top 5.
the top 5?
Yeah, you didn't need to go there.
Yeah.
I am going to go with on this one. So it's definitely not better than Techno Mages. So it's definitely going to be below the Geometry of Shadows. So it's that. Gropos is in there. And so the question for me is, do I prefer Dodger or Minbari Karate in the nerd fight that we almost got between Lanier and Ashan? So real quick, like he knocks out Zach Allen in this way that would actually break his wrist. The way, like it's just okay, great. Okay, that's awesome. I would much rather get more Dodger in my life than Minbari Karate. I'm going to put this one at number 10.
You know, it is a shame that Dodger died at the end of that episode.
I know.
Because she would be a perfect character to like come back later on and do something else with, you know?
She could be the new Natoth.
Right?
We need somebody to fill that gap.
Right. I am not going to argue with you at all. This is one of those episodes. I refer to episodes like laundry episodes. Like, it's not a great episode, but if I'm sitting there folding laundry and it comes on, I'll sit there and watch it. This isn't that. This is the episode that, like, I'm flipping through the channels and I come across in Babylon 5. Oh yeah. And I'm going to watch this one. And probably about the time it gets to whatever its commercial break is, I'm flipping the channels again. Like, I'm not sticking around for it. I'm not like, oh God, it's this episode, I'm leaving. It's more just like okay, well, let's see what else is on.
Yeah.
You know, and if nothing else is on, I might come back to this one.
It's
like,
the one.
It's that kind of an episode.
It's the one to put it in its time in the 90s. It's that one that you have on the TV guide channel or the guide up in the little thing as you're scrolling through looking at other things.
There you go. Yeah, great comparison.
Well, I'm putting us in that place in the 90s because I'm going to need it for this next game that we're about to play. Because we are done with There All the Honor Lies.
Thank God.
Yeah. And the game that we like to play is next week we are going to be watching And Now for a Word. It's our next episode. We don't know anything about this. Brent literally just heard me say the title. And so the game we play is we're going to guess what next week's episode is going to be about based on the title alone. So Brent, what do you think And Now for a Word is going to be about?
Well, you have to complete this. We already got the store. So this is Now for a Word from our sponsors.
I'm never going to not laugh at that.
How you know what's great is on YouTube, I can still see you, even though that like goes full screen and nobody else sees I can still see you and I know what you're doing while that's on the screen. Anyway, and if you guys don't know what we're talking about, please, that's probably because you're listening to the audio version, go over to YouTube, check out our YouTube channel. Lots of more fun is happening over there as well. And Now for a Word. I mean, this feels like so Stargate. We've talked about Stargate a lot. Stargate's a great show. Stargate is a show that absolutely takes itself seriously, but every once in a while you catch an episode that does not take itself that seriously at all. And it comes way out of left field, particularly the 100th episode and the 200th episode of Stargate. They're so good. and so funny and just amazing. I really hope that's what this show is. Like it's not going to have anything to do with the shadows. It's not going to have anything to do with Mars or President Clark or Minbari. It's just, or Psychor. They're going to stop. They're going to kind of poke fun at themselves, maybe poke fun at Star Trek, and just have a fun little deal, because it can't be anything like, and now for a word from our sponsor. Like, I don't know what else it could be.
I think the same thing. Like the store didn't work. That was supposed to make like what, $22 million credits or whatever. Like,
yeah,
that was some huge money.
You know what we did?
Million,
you know, we didn't talk about. Sheridan was cool with it until he found a bear with his initials on it, and now he's going to pull 22 million out of the budget. Yeah, I don't think that works.
Right. So
he
they
can
go
space there, but no. His boss is going to override him on that.
Yep. So I see sponsorships coming up. You know, hey, we've got a staff meeting coming up, brought to you by Zima.
There you go. We're going to get the Zima logos again.
but I do think the next thing though is this episode came out in 95. I think it was 92 or 93 when the big rage started being reality TV. That's when The Real World came out. MTV's The Real World.
Yeah.
Like I almost see like we're going to have sponsors and we're going to put cameras all over the place and we're going to film a reality show on Babylon 5.
Like The Office or Parks and Rec or one of those shows, like it's the mockumentary type.
Get the
deal.
confessional things where they're just like, "Oh my God, Garibaldi again with the Duck Dodgers thing." Like,
that would be so they're trying. People back on Earth want to know what's going on Babylon 5, so they send a camera crew out to video everyone, and you know, they're going to have people doing journals and they're going to be resisting it and all that kind of stuff. And as some crew, by the way, Stargate did that episode as well.
Really?
It was a good episode. Had Saul Rubinek in it.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
It was a great episode. Great episode. Anyway. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I don't know if it's going to redeem the whole season, but this in calculus terms, this could be a relative maxima type episode for anyone out there who understands that word.
We've had a lot of math in this episode.
Yes.
We're doing fractions earlier and stuff. Well, we're going to find out next week what And Now for a Word is going to be about. Thank you all so much for joining us here. If you haven't already, please subscribe wherever you're listening or watching and pop over to Apple Podcasts. Leave us a review, even a 1-star review. Well, I'd prefer more like 3, 4, 5 is probably better. But either way, we will read it right here on the podcast. So until next time.
Jeff.
No, Brent, nope. I got it this time.
All right. Really? What you got?
I got this for you.
What is that?
Baron.
Hold on. There's an audio audience out there. So Jeff is holding up a white teddy bear with creamsicle orange swirly stripes on it and a pink nose and eyelashes.
And I call him Brent Allen.
This is the spot where I suppose I'm supposed to repeat what Sheridan said at the end of the episode and go something like, nope, I want that off the show, yanked out, boxed up, and shipped up by 800 tomorrow. But you know what? That thing is adorable, and I'd much rather have $22 million. So I say keep it.
Well, here you go.
Thank you.
Peace and long life.
This is my first time.
Did you really just make the bear say peace and long
I did.
Oh, man. Okay.
It's my daughter's Girl Scout. It's a s'mores Girl Scout cookie.
Oh, that makes it has like some caramel. It's like caramel s'mores or something going on there.
So they make delicious cookies and they make cute bears.
Yeah. Just for anybody wondering, the actual text, I was actually supposed to say, nope, I want that off the show, box it up. But we had just talked about he let it go for $22 million, and I'm like, I want $22 million.
Right. Seriously.
Hey,
I want one of the Londo dolls.
That'd be cool. You know what I want? Cool. You know what I want? I want a Club 65 t-shirt.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
That would be very cool.
Yeah. You guys out there, hey, Club 65, you guys are awesome. We love you guys. And yeah, Jeff, I need to go get the bad taste of this episode out of my mouth. Man, we're the bad guys now, aren't we? We've done the Londo heel turn, right? Like,
people are pissed. Like, they are not happy.
Like, what are you talking about? This is the best television show ever.
And some of those people are here in Club 65. And you know what? I mean, I don't think less of any of you because you hate us. It's okay. It's okay. Right. We'll learn.
No, you know what? They're holding out hope for us like we're holding out for Londo. Like, they're going to come back. They're going to come back. Well, not this week, folks. Sorry.
Hopefully next.
I hope so.
I do too.
I want to come back. You know what it is? This is the journalist in me, Jeff. You know, I have to remove the fandom out and I got to call it like I see it.
Yep. Broadcast journalists got to call it right down the middle. I'm not here to pick sides. I'm here to say what happened.
Right. Like, now, I may sit up in the press box and when they score a touchdown, I give a little fist pump underneath the table that I'm not supposed to. I might do that, but I'm still got to call it like I see it. And I think it's time for the coach to get fired.
Yeah.
This is not that show.
It's time for a change.
It's time.
But here's what you got to remember.
I mean, we're not some deep space franchise. This station is about something.
Yeah, it's
about a
subpar second season.
Can we just talk about how that might be? That is a top 5 Ivanova line, right? Like, there's the Ivanova is God speech.
Mm-hmm.
There's the one where she said, I want to say it was to that Leona Kimmer, where she looks at her and goes, I do hope you're going to resist.
Yeah.
Right? Like, there's that one. Okay, that might be a top 3 Ivanova line.
Well, there's the one where it's like, all you had to do was ask to use the channel. Okay, can I use the channel? Denied. No, you can't.
I love it. Ivanova's the best. She is. I stand by what I said in the season 1 wrap up. Ivanova's my favorite character, but if I were to play one, I'd still want to play Londo. I don't want to play Jakar. It's too much makeup.
It's a lot of makeup. It's full body.
Yeah.
Like, he goes all the way to. Yeah.
I don't want to do that.
All right, YouTube.
Okay. I'm sorry. No. Club 65. You guys get this discussion. We did not talk about this in the show. Stick around. In fact, no, I'm not going to go Club 66. It's Club 69, baby. No, Londo talking about all the appendages and accoutrements to his doll.
Right? The attributes.
That was the word.
How could you tell? That's what, like, they're all those the girls are all laughing. And he's holding the doll. And I'm like,
did they open it up and look and it was just, blank?
It was just Ken dolled. Like,
okay, let me ask you this. What would you do, Jeff, if you got a child's play thing and you went to change your doll's clothes and it had full replica genitalia? What would you do as a parent?
Well, it's a tough. Does she already have the doll? Like, has she already been playing with it, or is this about the doll that she wants? Because one of them is, I'm like, no, we're going to go get the smoothed over Ken doll. But the other one is, if she's got it, well, it's time to sit down and have a conversation. Well, and to be fair, we've had that conversation. Like, you can't not have that conversation with young kids anymore.
Right.
So, like, she knows what it's called, and that we have 6 of them, and that I can, cheat with cards with them. She knows all that.
Yeah, but this is for Earth kids and Drazi kids. Okay. Also, by the way, the fake outs with the masks,
those are gonna show up.
Great.
Yeah, those are gonna show up, I think, in the future.
No way.
Better
no
than
way
the
those back.
What was the camouflage mask in The Gathering? Like, the dude could, shape
you just like the net.
Yeah. That's like apparently not a thing. Now that's gonna be like, oh, I robbed the Zocalo. A Drazi. There's a Drazi attack on it. Nope, it's just a whole bunch of lurkers that got
the editing, the way they did that, where they had the actor actually sitting there, and then they switched it out and put the rubber mask over the rubber mask, and have him pull it off. Like, that was good. That was really well done.
There was some cool merch in there, honestly, like the baseball jerseys and some of
the baseball. Every single one of those dolls. I mean, Jeff, I've got it right here. I am now on a thing where I want to go get all the Babylon 5 merchandise I can find. Like, not just like specifically toys.
Mm-hmm.
I want to fill up this wall with Babylon 5 because I've got my Trek stuff, I got my Buck stuff, I got my Disney stuff, I got some Harry Potter stuff. I got some Skylander stuff. I want to fill up Babylon 5.
Time for B5.
There we go.
Cool.
And maybe I get a picture of the Stargate right there.
That'd
You'll
be
know
good.
what that all is about.
Well, I saw there's back when was it? God, I don't know, a couple months ago. There was some display somewhere they had a Stargate.
No, that was back at Halloween.
Was that?
That was back at Halloween, and I had retweeted. It's a buddy of mine who lives down in Tampa, who is also a super geek. He's a cool dude. And they set up like in their garage an actual Stargate, and then they had like a sheet where they had a projector of the event horizon projected on. It was really well done, and
that's super cool.
Yeah, like if you know Jason, like he and his wife are into it. Like him and Rita are definitely into it. They're cool people.
That's awesome.
So anyway, all right, I guess that is enough for the post show wrap up. Club 65, you guys rock. And we should do t-shirts for him or something, Jeff.
That's a good idea. We just got to figure out how to do it, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll design it and then print it and product it and then sell it and then ship it
or not sell it.
Hey, what's your wife up to these days?
A lot. Like,
okay.
she's
bye, guys. You guys are awesome. Like, subscribe, all that stuff.